To give you perspective, I was a national trainer in the real estate industry when the real
Wow.
estate market crashed in 2008. I was doing great, and then the market went kaboom out from under me. My business, I was doing fantastic.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
How would you like to achieve your first million? And today we have Kelle with us, which he is a spiritual business coach with over 20 years of experience in the coaching business. So Kelle, tell us, what are the 5 steps that entrepreneurs should be doing in order to make the first million?
Well, so I'm going to give an answer that I don't think people are going to anticipate because it's not a tactical answer. It's a strategic answer. Okay. And so the first thing you have to do is you have to start with the end in mind. And so I'm going to talk about this from an identity perspective because a lot of the work that I do with business owners is around making sure that your identity is keeping up with your business. Because if it doesn't, you will sabotage your business to pull yourself back down to the lower identity level. And so the
Absolutely.
yeah.
100%.
And so the first thing is to start with the end in mind, right? So know who you are going to become when you're at that first million, right? Now, I want to say this because if you as an earner, if this is your first business or you've run a business in the past, if you've never made $1 million may be a very hard number for you to anticipate in the beginning. And so I highly encourage you to pick a number that it seems like a stretch, but doable. And plan for who you will be at that point. You can always expand the goal later. But if you pick a number like $1 million for somebody who's only ever made 150,000 in a year is way too big a number because the difference in who you will be and how your life will be is so different that you can't conceive of it, right? So you need to bring it to a level where it is a stretch but conceivable. And then you have a vision that you put together of who you are running the business at that level, because this is who you're living into as you're building your business. So that's step one. Step two is commitment. And this is the part that I think, if I think back over my last 30 years of doing this work with people, this is the one that I think has been the one that has declined most significantly over that period of time. It was much easier to get people to commit 30 years ago than it is today. And I think a lot of that's because of the ADD culture and, constant distraction and I don't feel like it or, whatever. I've got to feel into it. Now, I say this as an empath who feels into everything. Okay. Let me just say, I believe in feeling into things. And I also believe that commitment is key. If you do not commit, if you do not, and what that means, decide. To decide means literally to cut off all other options. If you pick a path and commit to it, that is the pathway to success. I used to train real estate agents 30 years ago, and I would bring them into my first day of training, and I would say, who has a backup plan for if this doesn't work? And I'd look at the people who raised their hands, and I said, you should go home now because you're not going to succeed if you have no backup. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, it's
What a great
true.
question.
It's true because if you have a backup plan, then you're planning to fail. You're telling yourself that you're going to fail. So you've got a backup plan, right? Stop it. Let go of your backup plan. In fact, make your backup plan impossible and put yourself in a position where you must succeed.
You have
That
to
is
make
the
it
path to
work.
success. Yes. And the other piece is to find a quick win for yourself. I find that a lot of things that happen, people associate their self-worth with the success of their company. And for a brand new company, that is so hard It is so heavy for a brand new company to hold up the weight of your self-worth. It is
Absolutely.
this tiny little baby. It
Can
cannot
destroy
control, it
you.
can't hold
Can
that weight.
destroy you mentally and physically.
Absolutely. You have to know that you have worth regardless of the outcome of your company.
Because you deal with a lot of
Because-
rejection at the beginning. Lot of it.
You will screw up over and over and over again. That is the nature of business. And I'm going to
And you
tell
will
you this
receive
right now.
no, the whole the whole time, and it's very difficult to deal with psychologically.
Well, it's and not just no, but also crickets, right? I think that's worse than no. At least with no, you're in front of somebody. Crickets is you're talking to nothing, right? And any first-time podcaster, I know when you first started your podcast, you were talking to nothing, right? I mean, it takes a process to get used to doing this, right?
Yeah, my girlfriend dragged me into this, so
right, there you go. So, but this is the thing: is that you are going to fail over and over again. That is, you need to set your mindset for the understanding that failure is not an end point unless you quit. Okay, you will fail a lot. It's fail forward, right? No entrepreneur knows exactly what's going to happen next. They're all making it up. Okay, we are all. I've been doing this stuff for. I've been in business for 38 years. I think is
wow,
38 years. I am still making it up. I am making it up with more knowledge. But I'm making it up, right? We are all making it up as we go. And, you just have to be okay with that.
This is who we are.
Yeah. And, having worked with countless business owners over the years and consulting with them on their businesses, I can tell you that these people who look like they've got it all together from the outside often are a hot mess. Okay? So if you're a hot mess, don't worry about it.
Actually,
I mean, we're all a hot mess. Let's be honest. Everybody is a hot mess in some way, shape, or form. And so it's okay. That's what I'm trying to say. Is I'm not trying to denigrate the people who are a hot mess. What I'm trying to say is everybody's a hot mess in some way, shape, or form. And so don't be hamstringing yourself by judging yourself for being a hot mess when everybody else looks like they have it together. Do not judge. Don't compare your insides to other people's outsides, because I promise you those are very different things, right? So that is getting ready for, that's part of your commitment piece, right? So the next thing, and this is again, preparing yourself for the challenges. That's step 3, is prepare yourself for the challenges. Give yourself permission to fail, especially if this is your first business, even if you've been a high corporate person, right? I have a friend of mine who was the comptroller of a Fortune 100 company, had 123 people working for her, $1 million in the bank in the early 90s. And,
wow, that's a lot of money in the early 90s.
It was a lot of money in the early 90s, right? And she came into the business world and fell on her face for 20 years. She just bang, 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 until she finally figured it out, right? It took her a long time to get the transition.
How it works.
Right? It was a transition that she had to make in her mind. And, this is the thing that happens, is that sometimes it takes a while, and hopefully not 20 years. That's why you get a coach. But, it's sometimes it is very much about, not sometimes, all of the time, it is very much about getting up after you fall down. Right? It's entrepreneurship is an act of willful futility with hopeless optimism, right? It is a stubborn, mule-headed, blind movement into the future,
into the unknown,
testing and testing and testing and testing and testing until the thing finally freaking works, right? And that's really, if you are not game for that, then this is not for you. Okay. I can't tell you how many times over the course of my career I wanted to quit.
Oh.
And I tried to quit a few
If I tell
times.
you
I really
stories,
did.
I will depress you. So let's don't go there.
Yeah. Well, see, this is what I'm saying, right? I mean, I can't tell you how many times I went and redid my resume and went into the whatever the job site du jour was and tried to put a resume out and then felt like my soul was dying and was like, okay, I can't do this. I have to go back and do it again, right? And so,
And you send your CV and you said, this is it. I'm sending my CV and I wish that somebody picked me. And that's it. I go, I work 8 hours. They give me the money. I don't need to worry about anything else. What kind of paradise? Even you start to talk to yourself into
Yes.
this how bad
Yeah.
can be sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, to give you perspective, I was a national trainer in the real estate industry when the real
Wow.
estate market crashed in 2008. Okay.
Wow.
So you want to
You
talk
literally were
about,
on top of the world.
yeah, I was doing great. And then the market went kaboom out from under me. My business, I was doing fantastic. My business was awesome. I was awesome. My clients were doing great. And then bang, everything went to hell in a handbasket.
Overnight.
Right?
Overnight, yeah.
Overnight. I
And
mean,
now you have to reinvent yourself.
Exactly. Exactly. And so, those are demoralizing moments, right?
Absolutely.
You're just like, oh God, and then, but every time you do it, you learn something from it, right? You expand, you evolve, you become more.
To the
For
point that you
me,
get used to it.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.